Next, so our main topic, that is the accessory glands. So we have to deal in depth what are their secretions, and are the pH of the secretions and the constituents of the secretions, and how much percentage of these secretions constitute the semen. So first, to name, one is the, as we all know, seminal vesical gland. Another is the prostate gland, and last to name is the Cowper's gland. So first let us take the seminal vesicle. So the basic concept behind these glands is that all these glands secrete some fluids, and all these fluids constitute totally combined constitute the semen. So every one constitute some percentage, and it differs from one gland to another. And with this, let us proceed. So seminal fluid is a paired type of gland, and it is a simple tubular gland. It is a simple tubular type of a gland, and its secretion is alkaline, viscous, and nutritive. Why nutritive? Because presence of fructose. That is very important, because fructose is acting as helps in the acts as a nutritive to the spermatozoa. And next, what are what are the constituents? Constituents are generally fructose, to name, fructose, and potassium citrate ions, and inositol, and prostaglandins, and inorganic phosphate, and other proteins. All these are the constituents of this fluid of the seminal vesicle. So at last we will be going to the what's the percentage. And next, let us come now I will be discussing one important point about the fructose, and also the importance of prostaglandins. So to name, fructose is not produced anywhere else in the body except the seminal vesicle, either in female or male. There is no production of fructose except in the seminal vesicle. So it is not produced anywhere else in the body. So but when fructose is found, presence of fructose in the female genital tract, it confirms the sexual intercourse. How? Because as if the females in the female genital tract, there is no fructose usually, and the fructose is present in the is formed in the seminal vesicle. So if the fructose is found in the female reproductive tract, it means that there is a transfer of some seminal fluid from the male to the female. That means there has definitely occurred a sexual intercourse. So this helps in the forensic test for the rape victims. So this is very important about fructose, that it is not produced anywhere else. You have to remember this point, only then you can relate it with this forensic test for the rape victims. So that is a very important point. Next, let us move and study the importance of the prostaglandins. One is the most important, is that it helps in the movement of the sperm, and another it prepares the mucus of cervix to be more receptive for sperm. So it prepares the mucus of the cervix of the female to be more receptive, and also helps the movement of the sperm. These are all the important things about the seminal vesicle and their constituent. And next, let us move towards the important prostate gland. So prostate gland, first we will be naming that it is paid or unpaid. It is single gland, it is not paid. and the fluid is generally it is slightly acidic. Fluid is slightly acidic. And what are the constituents? Constituents are usually proteolytic enzymes. Calcium is also present, and citrate ions and phosphate ions are also present. And all this helps in the, and this you have to remember, it helps in the activation of the spermatozoon. So this helps in the activation of, this is the important thing. Now now let us study the how much percentage of this secretion in the semen. So it constitutes, the prostatic gland constitutes nearly 15 to 30% of semen, whereas the seminal vesicle, the secretion of seminal vesicle constitute nearly 60% of semen. It means there is a larger proportion of the semen coming from the seminal vesicle. So now let us move to the Cowper's gland. So Cowper's gland is also known as the bulbourethral gland. So next, this Cowper gland is paired type of a gland like the seminal vesicle, and the secretion is slightly alkaline. It is very important because next I will explain its importance. And it also has mucus. Please remember, it is alkaline. Why? Because it relates to the function. Very important. You can relate it to the functions of the this fluid, because this Cowper's gland releases its fluid just before the ejaculation, and its function are very important. You can relate it to the alkaline, the pH of the fluid. It helps in the neutralizing acid of urine, So acids, and it also lubricates the penis. So this alkaline nature. So in now you will understand that why I have said this is important, because it, as when you remember the function of these secretion of the Cowper's gland, that is a neutralization of the acids present, acids of urine or anything else, as any other acid. So if in order to neutralize this acid, this should be in the pH of the fluid should be the alkaline. That is what how you have to relate the things and study, so that you can learn better. So, and it also helps in the lubrication of penis, and as it helps in the neutralization process, it is known as a flushing agent also. It's known as a flushing agent. So at last, the percentage secretion of this gland constitute nearly negligible. There is no percent, nearly negligible. It is not counted. So with this, let us move forward.